Okay, pull back in right below that 200 moving average. Okay, and as for last week, I was looking at this from a swing low, from this swing low, I believe, from this swing low through to that swing high, and the market it didn't really make, there wasn't a lot of pip change from the weekly open through to the weekly close, right? So it's about roughly 50 pips, okay, from that previous weeks, 2 weeks ago, and last week about a 50 pip net change as well, right? So this week, bit of aggressive movement to the downside, okay. Like I said, I'm still short bias on the euro dollar, right, as is with the GBP USD as well, and long USD CHF long term. Okay, so we isolated this sort of like red flag. Okay, so some people call it triangle, some people call it flag. I don't like to give it a name. I just like to say, okay, the market is contracting, obviously due to swing lows being higher and swing highs being lower. So it really just compresses, and then obviously we were expecting somewhat of a breakout, either to the upside or the downside. Okay, I was hoping for a retest of that 111, right? Didn't quite get it, but obviously the breakout did confirm for us that there's a really good short opportunity on the euro dollar. Okay, so for me, I'm still comfortable going short on the euro USD. Okay, still comfortable short on the euro USD. I mean, there's still plenty of space to the downside, like I said. First target, I did plan it out as 108.35. Okay, so these lows over here. Okay, so that is probably a significant target that we can aim for on the move. Okay, plus minus 100, 150 pips still in this. Okay, so you just need to have a really good entry on the pullback. Okay, and then yeah, continuation of the trend to the downside. Now, if you guys remember, we looked at the USDCHF last week or 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And my bias on the USDCHF has been, obviously, on sort of like mostly, I can say 60-70% long, and about 40%, 30% short, simply because we haven't been hitting any fresh highs or any fresh lows. So the market is still in somewhat of a consolidation. Therefore, I mean, the shorts, once you get an opportunity to short, right, close to a high of a range or a low of a range, if you can look at, there's a high of the range and there was a low of the range. So if you can play within those ranges for now, since the market hasn't broken above any level, then you're still safe. Okay. Now, I did throw in this the Fibonacci on the downside, should we get that reset or rejection rather at that one even level. Okay, and we actually did get that. Okay, the market hasn't been making any aggressive move to the downside just as yet. Right. However, 97, 91 seems like something decent that we should see in the next coming week or so. Okay, now if you know anything about the USD/CHF and the Euro USD, obviously they have what is termed as correlation, which means in most cases, if the Euro USD, okay, not 100% of the time, but in most cases, if the Euro USD is dropping, then the USD/CHF is on the rise. Okay. So we'll just have to wait on confirmation for that one. All right, so I'd love to see it break below at least last week's low and the retest of that low, right, 98.61 before the market pushes to the downside. So therefore, we'll be expecting a push to the one more push to the downside, and then hopefully a break on these upper levels, right, to reach this one even level. Okay, because it gives us a bit more amount of pips for us to play with. Okay, so from this swing low, which is at 98.66, then should give us about 130 pips to parity on the USD versus the Swiss franc. Okay. All right. For the guys who are not familiar, parity just means 1 Swiss franc is equal to 1 US dollar. Okay. Right. USDJPY, we were, okay, we still are short on the downside to 107.00. Okay, so 107 even, right? Nice previous support structure, right? Boom, broken, form resistance, and you see a bit of consolidation around that 107 even. Okay, when we looked at the market last week, I believe it was, we did expect a bit of a push to the upside, right, before the market pulls back in. Okay, didn't quite get the market reached the level we were hoping for, and we got the retest on the break of this low over here. Okay, on the break of the low, the market broke through, boom, and just retest gave us an entry on the short side, and we are currently short to around 107.06. Okay, so 107 even rather, and if we get that, we might get a break of this 200 moving average. So we should get a bounce off the 200 moving average on the downside. And then obviously I'd like to see the market push a bit higher after that. So after the drop to 107, okay, we should be hoping for 109.32 as a level. Okay, because you can see that the market just cleaned out stops just below 2018 low, and hence we're seeing a bit of an aggressive move to the upside. So let's wait for the pullback back into this area again, right? You can see a really decent support structure, previous resistance, and yeah, we should see a push to the upside as soon as this move is completed. So there's still about 40 or 50 pips, I believe, left in the move. Okay, obviously, if you didn't catch the entry, you'd have to wait for some sort of a pullback to the upside, probably this low, like this resistance here, okay, resistance at 107.82 or something similar to that. And yeah, that's essentially what we'd like to see on the USDJPY, and I'm really confident that if we do get to that 107 even level, we should see somewhat of a push to the upside. Okay, but obviously we'll have to wait and see if that develops. Now, the GBP USD. Also, I'm still short, right, long term on the GBP USD. Haven't changed my short bias. Okay. Now the market did give us this 120 level. Okay, this 120 level seems like a very, excuse the sniffing, guys, just got a bit of a cold. So. Okay. Right, so market pushed up to that 125 zone, right? So 125, and so like hit somewhat of a brick wall, quote unquote. And if you look closely here on the weekly time frame, we have a really good previous support level, which was broken. Market looks like it just came to retest, and we do have a doji type candle, which signifies to us that there's a potential for a reversal and a continuation of the overall trend to the downside. Okay, we haven't received any confirmation on a breakout though. Okay, breakout candle confirming our short bias, but I can say, I mean, I think previous week's low, right? So last week's low is at 23.88. If the market breaks below that, okay, you can see this previous support structure as well. Market breaks below that, retest, and we should see a continuation of the move to the downside. So there is a potential of about 380 pips in this particular move, okay, with probably about a for about 115 stop loss for 300 to 400 pips. Okay, so that's about 1 to 4 risk reward, so should be okay there. Okay, I saw someone raise their hand. Okay, for some reason, just give me a second. I'm just trying to see. Okay, I don't think you've clicked the join audio, right? I think you're supposed to click join audio, right? So once you click join audio, I should be able to unmute you and you'll be able to ask a question, okay? Just make sure you've clicked join, I think computer audio or join phone audio. I'm not quite sure of how it looks like from the phone end, but if there should be a button that says join audio. Right, so just click that and then I'll be able to unmute you and yeah, you can ask a question, okay? Otherwise you can just type it in the chat. Okay, all right, so let's continue while you do that. Just let me know when it's done. So as I was saying, those are my levels on the Great British Pound versus the United States dollar. And yeah, we'll just have to let the market play out and just really give us an idea of where it should be going for the next couple of weeks. Okay. Now, Australian dollar, US dollar. Okay, just also another one of those very short markets. Okay, we had quite a rejection at this level that we highlighted, swing low over here. Boom, we had a support structure at 68.60. Okay, market swung to the upside. I was also expecting somewhat of a return to those highs. Okay, and during the interest rate, okay, during that interest rate decision, we had a really good entry on the short side at 68.29. Okay, which is about, okay, still about 63 pips. Okay, so still about 63 pips. So, but obviously the most important thing is finding out why we took that position, right? Obviously we have these swing highs on the upside and the swing lows, right? Swing lows keep getting lower and lower. We had a swing high through to swing low, 50% Fibonacci retracement, right? Market rejected there. I think we had a moving average on the 200 moving on the daily. It was on a 200 moving average. And yeah, I was hoping for the market to at least touch this green bar over here. I think it missed it by 15 pips, which then prompted us to enter on the retest of this low on the 30-minute. Okay, retest of the low on the 30-minute. Boom, market gave us a nice entry there, sweet one, and has been on a slow decline, right? So just wait patiently for that. On the long term, obviously I'm expecting the extensions on the downside on the Australian dollar, US dollar. I'm not convinced of any buys just as yet. So if you drop down to the 30-minute time frame, okay, or rather the 4 hour, let's kick it off on the 4 hour time frame. Potentially in this current move, we have about from where the current market price is to those swing lows in September 2nd or so, and we have about 80 pips still left. Okay, so we have about 80 pips and should really give us a few more pips, close to about 120, 130, not a lot, but definitely adds to the bottom line at the end of the month. Okay. All right, guys. Any questions? Okay, I think someone said they don't have any sound. I think hopefully everyone else can hear me, because my mic seems to be on and it might just be an issue from on your side. Okay, so what I'll do is I will upload the recording and then you'll just go through the recording so you can get that sorted. All right. Okay, guys. Yeah, that was tonight's brief session, right? Overlook at the market. Now, obviously, that is just the majors. We just looked at the majors, and from there, you can just use that directional bias to line it up with your other markets, like your crosses, as well as your minors, your EURUSDJPYs, your Euro CHF, your GBP CHF, so you'll be able to line those up accordingly. You can watch the recording again. I'll upload the video and then put it up on YouTube and send through the link in the WhatsApp group so you guys can have that there. And yeah, tomorrow, same time, we'll have our normal advanced session. Okay. Now, if you are brand new, this was probably really confusing, but if you got a bit more experience, this was really should be understandable. Okay. And keep getting the same question about how it is, what guys should be doing right now, especially the new guys. I did post through the schedule, right? I'll do so again. And I think I'll record a video, like I promised, explaining how things go, right? Because I did do a video, but it seems like some of the guys weren't really truly understanding what I did, because I even broke down what we're going to be covering. And it seems very foreign to some of the new guys, which is totally understandable. So I'll just try and break it down a lot simpler. Okay, so you guys can have a really good idea, or the newer guys can have a really good idea of what's next, what they need to download, how to attend sessions and stuff like that, and that'll all be posted within the WhatsApp group. All the guys on the copycat trading, right? The guys copying trades, I do believe that everything has been set up for this week, right? So accounts should be set up and ready to go this week. Obviously, there haven't been any new trades for this week. Last trade was, I think it was on Friday, last week Friday. And if your account didn't follow last week's Friday's trade and it was connected last week, just drop us WhatsApp either on the 063 number or on the 072 number, right? Both numbers are within the WhatsApp group, so we can take a look at that, because we did have a situation where one or two accounts weren't following the trades that we were actually placing, and we just wasn't taking any trades. So I do believe that has been sorted, and yeah, we should be on our way to making some money as well for the newer guys. So if you guys don't have any questions, okay, I'll post up the recording for those who couldn't hear me today. Right? It seems like it's one person. Right? Seems like it's one person. Everyone else can hear me. And therefore, I will close off tonight's session and let's see you guys tomorrow. Okay, cheers, man.